People have this idea that when you homeschool, it's actually for free. Homeschooling is not free. Nothing in life is free. Welcome back to Grace Abounds in Deepest Waters. Yes, I know it's been a very long time since we done a video, but I'm just happy to be back. If you hear any noise in the background, just know that it's real life happening here. It is Aisha's turn to do the dishes today, and we've just had lunch. So if you hear any splashing of water or banging of cups and saucers, it is time for us to do our dishes. Life must go on. So I thought today I'd speak about the fact that I went through my Facebook page yesterday and came across an old memory, and when I read it I realized that this is actually officially our 9th year of homeschooling. On the 14th of February, 9 years ago, was my very last day at my corporate job, and that was the day that I was saying goodbye to everybody. And the very next day we started homeschooling. At the time I didn't know that 9 years later we'd still be doing this, because my initial plan was that we would take it 1 year at a time and leave it in the hands of God, and where He leads us, that's where we will follow. It is 9 years later. We just completed primary school with my older two last year, and this is our first year of actually doing high school. So in the past, when people ask me, what are you going to do when you get to high school, I'd always say we'll probably be online schooling, and to be honest, that is still on the cards. However, this year we are still doing the school the same way we done it last year. We've gone to P&A and C&A and second-hand books on Facebook Marketplace, and we've bought all the books that my high school students need this year. And I think I will actually do a video on all the books that we are using this year, where I bought them, and so on, and just so that you can have an idea of what we actually also spend on homeschooling, because a lot of people have this idea that when you homeschool, it's actually for free. Homeschooling is not free. Nothing in life is free. But I can give you an idea of what it would cost you if you were thinking of homeschooling high school students. I'm also planning to do a video on the books and curriculum that my primary school students, the twins, is using this year. They're doing grade 2, and we're just having a ball of a time between the three of us doing school. I know that it should actually be easier, since they are my second set of students doing grade 2 and learning to write, learning to read. But yeah, I don't think it ever gets easier. It's a lot of fun, but it's not easy work. I also want to add that because of that sickness everyone was getting in the last 2-3 years, it's actually made our homeschooling much easier, I'd like to believe, because in the last 2-3 years, when students were not able to go to school and have classes in person at school, lots of schools and individual teachers actually done their lessons online. And because of that, many of the subjects that my high school students is doing this year is available online. There's a particular website that we use, or I can't say a website, it's a YouTube channel that we use. It's called Worksheet Cloud. And with any work that they do, and this is a tip to those whose kids is actually in school, and they have to do homework and maybe don't understand the work that well that they need to do homework of, go check out Worksheet Cloud. What I normally do is, if there's a particular subject that they need to do schoolwork on, I would just type in the subject and type next to that Worksheet Cloud, and we check it out on YouTube, and automatically a teacher comes up and she explains that section of work, we also go through it in the textbook, and there's been the occasion or two that we happen to use the same textbook that that particular teacher is using. And I must say that it's made my work a lot easier. I would think that that's how it would work if they were doing online schooling. Instead of me explaining the work, there's a qualified teacher that's actually explaining that to them. Now I know some people's gonna say to me, but if you do that, you might as well put them in school. Don't miss the point. I've never had a problem with professional teachers. I just prefer to school my kids at home, and if you don't know why, I will link the video where I speak about why we homeschool our kids below, and you can always go and watch that video and see why we actually decided to homeschool our kids. But as I say, having these online teachers that came along in the last 2-3 years has made homeschooling, especially the high school years, much more easier, because as I've also mentioned in a previous video, I've often struggled to get teachers that is actually South African teachers or no. I've struggled to get South African homeschoolers that I could learn from. And it's only been in the last 2 years or so that I realized that I don't only have to learn from other homeschoolers. I am teaching my children, so I can also learn from other teachers. And since I've had that epiphany, it's made my homeschooling go much easier as well. Because instead of looking for other mummies like myself in South Africa to help me teach my kids, I actually have teachers that is also teaching the CAPS curriculum in South Africa that is there that's able to assist me. Yes, so like I said, I'm going to do a video on the curriculum that my grade 2s is using this year. I'll also do a video on the curriculum that my high school students is using this year. And yes, thank you for following us, and I know that a lot of you have been waiting for new videos to go up and it hasn't been happening. But yes, sometimes in life we have other priorities, and I've actually had to make my children my priority. This year our whole goal and aim is to prepare my kids to start being able to do exams for grade 12. And though we have lots of ideas, the Bible says that the footsteps of the righteous are ordered of the Lord. So we are hoping that we will just stay in His will. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've learned something from this video, and please join us for our future videos. I'm hoping that we'll have a lot more going live for you in the future. God bless.